out of time. I'm going to do this very, very quickly, okay? I will not get to finish everything. There are 3 hidden identities that women all over the world, whether young or old, generally may have. The first is I'm not enough. The second is I'm invisible. Third is I'm alone. And when I say hidden identities, they may not be aware, or you may not be aware that you have these identities or perceptions of yourself, and that you have been operating life based on these, what we call false identities. And when I say false identities, false is the opposite of true, okay? False is the opposite of true, meaning these are false identities that do not necessarily represent the real potential that you have or the real capabilities that you have as a powerful woman in life. Okay? So how many of you are excited? Give me some hearts on the screen. How many of you are excited to find out if you are manifesting these identities and are causing you to burn out? Give me some hearts. Thank you, Rose, for that beautiful heart. Thank you. Okay, so first, let's talk about the biggest of them all, which is I'm not enough. And I'm not enough. So I did an informal research survey on this one. And even my fellow transformologists in the Institute of Women International also did a survey. And guess what? 70% of women actually have this hidden false identity. In Asia, or in Southeast Asia, it can actually be even higher. In the survey that I did, about 73 to 75% of the respondents, and I had like 600 respondents, okay, have this issue of not being enough. Before I go there, I'm going to be showing you ways on how you may be manifesting I'm not enough in your life. The way you act, the way you think, the way you behave, even how others treat you because of how you interact with them. Are you ready? Type in the chat, say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, first, I'm not enough. How does it show up in your life? You may be others directed to the point that you are always sacrificing your wants, your needs, your joys, your time, yourself. And what does this mean? You always would take responsibility to want to make other people happy. You take it upon yourself that you want them to feel fulfilled, feel joyful, enjoy the party, enjoy the get-together, enjoy the work. You feel like it's all up to you. And there could also be signs that you need to do more than anyone else. You need to deliver more than anyone else just so that you can have the same amount of recognition or satisfaction or success compared to the others. What happens? Some of you might actually be believing, some of you, that you actually exist to make other people happy. You actually exist to please other people and make them happy. Some of you might be believing that, okay? What happens? You end up committing to things that make you unhappy or unsatisfied. You might be overly diligent in pacifying other people, making sure their needs are met, making sure that when they're upset, you're there to calm them down, that you actually forgo your own needs. You even forgo your own emotions. I'm not enough makes you have that feeling that you're rarely satisfied. Why? You're rarely satisfied because you're always satisfying other people's needs. And when you're satisfying other people's needs, you end up feeling empty, tired, burnt out, exhausted. How do you compensate? Eating is one of the signs. Overeating, undereating. Remember, I showed earlier one of the symptoms of physical manifestations, external behavior, is changing in eating behaviors. Overeating, undereating can be a sign. If you have that I'm not enough identity, you can also be what? Giving up on things even before you master them. You are quick to hold back and back off, pull out. Try this, try that, try this, try that. You don't end up becoming the master, but becoming a jack of all trades. What happens? You might even be burdened because you're saying yes to everyone. Saying yes, I'll take care of that. Oh yes, I can handle that. Oh, let me take care of that for you. You end up being burdened by too many obligations that are pulling you and spreading yourself thin. There are also certain ways that you might be generating evidence that would validate your identity of not being enough. Take note. You might be saying things to others or even to yourself that deprecates, pulls you down, or diminishes your talents, your capabilities, your accomplishments. And this happens most likely when others try to praise you, to acknowledge you, to say, good job, or you are so great or wonderful in what you did. And, oh, no, I was just lucky. Or, you don't have to say that. When you are enough, you gladly accept people's praises and comments. You don't turn them away. You may also be overcommitting, taking on more than what you can actually handle. Again, that cycle, that repeated cycle validates that you are not up to speed, you're not up to par and not up to task because you're trying to compensate for that feeling of not enough. Next, you might be generating a lot of debt. Why is this? Because the I'm not enough, and it's in my next slide, tend to overspend, overdo, overbuy a lot of things just to fill in a void, to make them feel enough. And they end up generating a lot of clutter. I mentioned this earlier. Because you're the jack of all trades and you quit before achieving any certain mastery, you might be the type to continually change careers or change jobs. And in doing so, when you tell others and volunteer yourself, volunteer your time, your talent, your treasure, you're actually training other people to put you at a certain standard, to put you at a certain high standard that you end up not delivering because you're burning out. So I mentioned this, you can be overgiving, overbuying, overdoing everything. You might get yourself obligated to situations, to people, to circumstances that don't satisfy you because you yourself are unable to figure out what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, because you're focused on others. And you end up undervaluing yourself or end up that you are underpresenting your true capabilities or your true potential because you always undermine and self-deprecate. Okay? Signs of I'm not enough. What happens? Other people, what is the impact or effect on other people? It's on the screen. Whatever they try to do to show you how much they care, how much they love, how much they want to support you, they feel like it's never enough to satisfy you or make you feel enough. And because I'm not enough always wants to serve the needs of others, they end up being so dependent on you or relying on you for everything or anything. What happens? They might also feel it's okay for you to be given more work for the same pay. They will keep on throwing more and more work on you because you keep on saying yes anyway. And what happens? Other people might feel frustrated and irritated because when you keep on saying yes to them and you're not able to deliver, they become disappointed. They become frustrated. And they end up not trusting your word because you don't do what you say you were going to do. And they might feel that you're just settling for them. You're just there because you have no other choice or you don't want to do anything else. I mean, if you're getting triggered already. Okay, so what you end up believing, others don't value you, they expect more from you versus others, and they always want more and more and more from you. But guess what, ladies? For those of you who are relating to what I just said, there is a true identity or a higher identity that you can relate with. And I want you to take note of this statement. Your very existence in itself, the fact that you exist, that fact that you are there, means that you provide extraordinary value. And the fact that you are there, able to help others, means that you are an amazing blessing to all. For you to remember that you are a blessing to others, your presence in itself is a blessing to others, means you don't have to overgive or over-sacrifice or over-attend to other people's needs. Because for you to acknowledge that you yourself are a blessing, and that blessing you can share to others, means that you are enough. Means that you are enough. Okay, the next one, I'm invisible, or I'm not seen, I don't exist. Normally, women who have this identity, false identity, are disconnected with their own feelings. That's why they also feel dissatisfied. When they're disconnected with their own feelings, they're not even able to express or assert what they feel, even if they know what they are. Because like the I'm not enough issue, they place their attention first on others, that they end up disappearing. Because they just keep on doing selfless chronic service. It's always about others and never about your own self. When it comes to relationships, because they feel that they're not seen, they don't exist, or they're invisible, they tend to just ghost. They do ghosting, they don't show up, they bail out without saying anything, because the assumption is they won't notice anyway. They won't mind anyway. I don't matter anyway. So what happens? Others may become so clueless about your own needs, about how you feel, about your own desires, that they gloss over you, they skip over you, and they end up not asking about you and how you feel, what you need, what you want, etc., because you made them get used to that. What happens? These people, the other people in your life, might just be so focused on themselves. And when you decide to speak up and say how you feel or what you want to happen, or what is it that you need, they look at you like as if you're an alien. It's like, huh? Why are you saying all of these things? It's like, you never complained before. Why are you complaining now? So when you end up leaving the relationship, cutting the relationship, they end up confused and hurt. They feel abandoned when you don't show up anymore, or they feel neglected when you shift your attention away from them. Others might be so self-absorbed in your presence because you allow them to feel important. You allow them to feel seen when you yourself might not be allowing yourself to feel seen. So what is it that you end up believing about others? That they don't care about you, that they're so selfish, self-centered, or if you disappeared, they wouldn't care anyway. Okay? What are the other beliefs about I'm invisible? It's dangerous, it's not safe, it's shameful to be seen. I don't want conflict. The world does not want what I have to offer, or the world does not need what I can give them. You are waiting for others to discover you by just being passive and silent. When people try to talk to you and ask you how you are, you believe na no, it's not about me. Let's talk about you. Let's not talk about me. So what happens in the relationship, it becomes one-sided. That others prefer that they are given the attention and not give it to you. But you know what? For those of you who have this hidden identity, your true identity is You came into this world to be seen. You came into this world to have a profound impact on others and on the world. And it is your choice and your responsibility to make yourself visible and present, or presence yourself wherever you go. It's your choice and your responsibility. Lastly, I'm alone. This is very short. Those who have the I'm alone identity, or I'm on my own, may experience this somewhat low-grade chronic depression, always feeling sad, feeling hopeless of being ever connected to others. The I'm alone person will rarely ask for support. They will try to do everything on their own. And when they do ask for support, they actually alienate others because they sound whiny, demanding, complaining, or they're unable to express or hint at what they really need in the way that other people can understand. That's why they end up being under-supported. That's why they burn out, because they try to do things always on their own. They try to always fix things and feel that other people cannot do it the way I do or the way I can. And you might have that feeling that you are rarely with your people because you're not able to bring out the true you. What happens? The effect on others. They find you unapproachable because you're like an island. They have a difficult time figuring out what is the kind of help that you need. Or they might end up assuming you don't need any help because you're not speaking up. Or you've got your act together, you've got your SHT together, that they'd rather not approach you because you can handle it on your own. Some of them might even stop or give up on you, not inviting you to events because you're so independent, you're so busy, or you don't show up, that they stop inviting you and forget you altogether. Other ways on the screen, you might be avoiding joining communities or groups or collectives, and you just want to do things on your own. Read a book, just do your own self-meditation, self-practice, live alone, work by yourself at home, etc. So when you're in a group, you're rarely an equal. You'd rather stay on the sidelines or be the leader. Again, that's being alone. I'd rather lead. I will not collaborate and be with others. So you end up isolating and separating with yourself. So there are a lot of like big bosses. They have this feeling of being alone, or they have this identity of being alone, that the subordinates or the teammates are afraid to approach the boss or interact or spend time with the boss. Okay? So they don't even respond to the invitations anymore. I will end there. Okay? I will end there because I want to share and invite all of you. There are so many things that we can learn to be able to overcome burnout and to be able to self-actualize our lives so that we are not stopped or hindered by these identities. And this is the Overcoming Burnout Masterclass. Okay? The masterclass is happening on Women's Month this coming March. It will be a half-day event where you will learn new skills and capacities that will help you evolve and go beyond these false identities. In the masterclass, you will learn to create a new personal power statement that empowers you to live a life differently and live your life forward. In this masterclass, you will also discover your powerful gifts. Despite having these false identities, you will discover that you have powerful gifts. Next, I will be giving bonuses. I will be giving group coaching for you and your girlfriends to process whatever you have learned inside the masterclass. And I will also be giving one-on-one private root cause identifier consultation sessions. And these sessions are going to be personalized. Now, all of these things that you will experience in the masterclass if I would cost it out based on the services that I do a la carte, the total value is about 1,400 ringgit. But I believe Rome has a special gift for all of you who are here right now. Rome?
Yes, everyone, I have negotiated with Reza. And for those who are present today, just for those of you who are present today, it is going to be 325 ringgit only. Yeah, 325 ringgit only. From 1,400 something to 325 ringgit. That is definitely a steal. That's a 77% drop discount just for you lovely people who decided to join today's webinar. Now, this is a very, very special. What are we getting? We're getting the masterclass. We're getting the group coaching. We're getting the personal identifier session. So please, please, please fill out the Google form in the chat box and walk out today with a secured seat at 325. So I can understand if you cannot make up your mind, what you need to do is just register your interest. You don't want to commit today, never mind. We just want you to register your interest and say, I'm interested, but I'm thinking, or I have to check my bank account, my balance when my salary coming in. But just register your interest. From 1,425, 77% discount. And what are you going to get with this price? You're going to get a masterclass. You are going to get a group coaching, and you're going to get a root cause identifying consultation one-on-one with Coach Reza. How is that? I would like to hear some of your comments. Anyone have anything to say? Anyone interested? Let me know. Put up in the chat or just go to the link and say, I'm interested, I'm keen, I want. Yeah?
Yeah. This is exciting, Rome, because the women that I have worked with previously, I had a masterclass series last year. I saw the amazing transformation on how they were able to overcome. Yes. Wow, there you go, Kartini. Banu Valu, thank you. Rose, thank you so much. Yes, when they were able to overcome, they were able to discover the natural feminine power that they had inside. That they were no longer slaves to their identities and no longer slaves to their issues.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So Rome,
yes,
I'm giving this to you ladies today.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to be signing in. So come join me. We can learn together. We can go through this together. Come join me to identify what is it that we have been doing all this while that is self-sabotaging ourselves as women and not giving us the opportunity to show up in life in our fullest potential. All right. So thank you. I am so happy to have you all here today. And I would like to thank you so much, Coach Reza, for your time. Thank you to everyone who is present today for your time, for your commitment, and for all your comments and for all your sharing. It's been fantastic. I know some of you had to leave earlier and some of you will have to go soon. Thank you again from all of us at Ideascape.
Yes, and if you need to contact me, I'm just sharing with you my mobile number. That's also my WhatsApp number and my email address. Okay, so if some of you are more keen on private consultation, please reach out to me as well. Okay, so those are my contact details on the screen. Thank you so much, Rome. Thank you so much, Ideascape. And thank you so much, ladies, for being here today. You're all wonderful and so beautiful. Hope to speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, you may also put it in the chat or you can just message me.
Who may have a question, you can stay back and ask Coach Rizal if you have any questions.
Yes, I can stay for another 10 minutes to entertain your questions. And I think we also have a survey or a poll question, which, yeah, so we're sharing the survey question. We'd like to know which of the false identities can you relate to the most? Which identity wish there? So you can answer the poll question quickly. It'll take only 30 seconds to answer it. Please let us know. So there's a question. Najiha is asking how to keep positive. Okay, noted on that one. Let me answer that. That's a very good question, how to keep positive. To expect oneself to always be positive 24/7 is a bit unrealistic. I will tell you that already. Keeping a positive attitude or keeping a positive mindset, there is a certain term that we use to describe it, is when you're woke or awakened. And that happens most especially when you start investing in yourself for personal development programs or even things like coaching. Because positivity is always a choice. Positive, there will always be negative things happening in this world, at work, in our relationships, at home, in the government, in society, in our health. There will always be problems. What is different is how you choose to deal with the issue or the problem. Because sometimes we're seeing the problem, but it's really not our problem to deal with, true. And it's choosing to focus on what we can control, focus on what we can handle on our own, instead of blaming society, the virus, blaming the family, whoever, our parents, our children, our siblings, our co-workers. Yeah, so, but for everyone who is still here, thank you for that question. I hope I answered your question. Can we have a group photo? Can we have a group photo for the remaining 54 people who are here? Can I ask everyone to please turn on your cameras for a few moments as we take our group photo? So Mastura, Julia, Sophia, Rafida, Kat, Najiha, Sophia, Margaret, Isa, Juliana, Norlia. Yes, Riza, thank you. Sahira, can I ask you to open your Zeti, Fauja, Shohaini, Bella, Limmeyin, Crystal, Constance, VG, Cartini, yes. Can you, Jennifer, Yanti, can you please open your cameras and have a quick group photo? Anita, Dorina, Anonymous, Siazia, can you please, let's have a group photo. Ready? Who is taking all the photos into?
Everyone. Okay, one.
Maureen, Frida, yes.
One more. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you. Any other questions? Cartini, not ready. That's okay. Okay, any other last question before we close the Zoom room? Anyone else? Okay, if there are no more questions, feel free to just message me, sign up for the masterclass, and I hope to see you ladies in March. Okay, have a wonderful day. Okay, last question. How would you rate our sessions? Single choice. Thank you so much. Yes, just 5 seconds to answer this poll question. How would you rate today's session? How many stars? How many stars? How many? Thank you so much. Thank you. 5 seconds to answer this polling questions before we end it. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. How to deal with negative emotions, Najiha. So how to focus on positivity and how to deal with negative emotions. One big thing that I've been teaching my clients, learn to acknowledge and recognize that there's a negative emotion and be okay with it. Because most often what I have been seeing in my clients, when they fight with their negative emotion, it becomes an internal battle. Very first thing you want to learn is, how do I get in touch and acknowledge that I am feeling angry, sad, hopeless? When you acknowledge that, you actually diminish the power of the negativity. When you start listening to your own emotions and recognizing and respecting what you're feeling, it diminishes the negativity. So it starts with learning to love yourself. And I also teach that in my coaching sessions, how to do it. When you start to having more empathy towards yourself and start to be more loving and forgiving towards yourself, the negative emotion just melts away. Okay? Thank you, Najia, for that question. Any other questions? You can open your mic, okay? You can open your mic, or you can also put it in the chat.
Yeah, we're going to keep this room open for the next 5 minutes. Anyone who wants to ask any questions, we're closing the room in 5 minutes. Come
Yes.
ask your questions now. If you
So
have.
this is your chance, right? You can raise your hand or you can just turn on your mic. Anyone? I'm going to stop recording. Okay. And maybe we can also stop the streaming as well, so we can accommodate the more private questions. Anyone else? Oh, there's still so many women in the room. I think you want to ask a question, but you're just shy.